The Korean Zombie, real name Jung Chan-sung, has been a steady force in the featherweight division for some time. He shot to notoriety after his bouts with Leonard Garcia, the first match being a wild slugfest in the WEC, a fight Jung lost by a controversial split decision, but earned himself a Fight of the Night bonus, and the belt went on to be named Fight of the Year. He later went on to submit Garcia with the first ever twister in the UFC, in what was Jung's UFC debut. MMA was not wholly popular in Korea at the time of Jung's emergence, with the only notable fighter being kickboxing giant Hong Man Choi, who had fought pound for pound king Fedor Emelianenko, losing by an armbar. It didn't take Jung long to garner attention and a strong following due to his aggressive, reckless style on the feet, accompanied by his slick and methodical grappling skills. After Jung lost by knockout to George Roop, he re-evaluated his approach to fighting. He became a much more patient striker, often waiting for his opponents to lead, for him to then counter with his powerful right hand and blitzer punches. You can clearly see his evolution as a fighter over the last couple of years. His knockout wins over Renato Moicano, Dennis Bermudez and former title contender Mark Hominick demonstrate just how deadly Jung is with his backhand. One of Zombie's tactics is to rush forward with punches, stepping through with his feet as he strikes to get into a single collar tail clinch, utilising the Thai plum where he will dirty box or knee. This is where Zombie had most of his success in the early days, charging in with looping punches into close proximity with his opponent, where he was able to overwhelm them. This tactic relied heavily on his durability and toughness, something he has tried to lean on less as he's developed, as he's become quite the crafty counterpuncher. Zombie is very good with his legs and is quite an explosive kicker, something we saw more of in his bout with Rodriguez, and this is something he needs to use more whilst he sits at range trying to bait counters. His more patient style sees him rush in less and work more off of his opponent's lead. This adjustment has been a double-edged sword. He has had great success as a counterpuncher, but he can sometimes be found waiting for the perfect opportunity for too long whilst getting picked apart by his opponent. He needs to find a better way to bridge the gap aside from running in. The rushing in has also caused him to eat a few bad spinning techniques from the likes of Rodriguez, and it definitely slowed him down in the Brian Ortega fight. Maybe he needs to introduce the use of more feints, level changes and bread and butter techniques like jabs and low kicks to set up his work better. Where Jung has the potential to be somewhat reckless on the feet, he is anything but on the mat. He has excellent takedown defense and has never been submitted in his pro career. He holds 8 wins by submission, with his most notable being the Darstroke win over Dustin Poirier. He has great back takes and back control and uses his lanky frame well. Whilst Poirier would be the biggest name Korean Zombie has submitted, the most impressive was the twister against Leonard Garcia. He's got a twister. He may not be the best wrestler, but he has very good body locks, and this ties together well, both from the Thai clinch and from coming up after a failed double leg attempt. Being behind your opponent is the best place to be, as they can't effectively strike you, and you can attack for finishes whilst racking up control time, which will win the round. Probably the biggest shame for Zombie is he lost a few prime years of his career due to mandatory national service with the Korean military, but there is definitely still some good time left for him to leave a solid legacy as a pioneer of Korean MMA. Once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe and share. You can also support the channel via Patreon and the link will be in the bio. Thanks again from Pro Striking.